Hi, Madison Hannah. I will be teaching how to make monkey bread. The name monkey bread is actually really misleading. It is not made out of monkeys. It's a cinnamon sugar bread that's great for breakfast or dessert. Best served warm, by the way. It's my favorite recipe that I got in about 6th grade from a FACS teacher in like cooking class, and we just cooked it. It was really good. It's my favorite recipe from Pillsbury, and I've used it ever since. For the recipe, you're going to need a half a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 cans of Pillsbury biscuits, a cup of brown sugar, and you have to pack that down because if you don't, it won't be measured right, and there won't be good, yeah. 3/4 of a cup melted butter. Okay, so the first step in making this delicious monkey bread is preheating the oven to 350 degrees. And then the next is take your pan. It could be a bread pan, or I'm going to be using a fluted tube pan. And you want to grease that with either a cooking spray or, in my case, I'll be using butter. The next thing is you're going to take a bowl. I'm just going to use this size we'll put the thing on the side here. Next, you're going to take a bowl and you're going to put your half of a cup of sugar and your teaspoon of cinnamon. And then you're just going to take that, use a fork, and you're gonna mix it together, and it's gonna look kind of like a dark brown. It's gonna look like brown sugar, but it's not. And the cinnamon and sugar will be used to coat the biscuits, so it's like cinnamon and sugar. So it's going, yeah. So when that's done, you're going to take, and I didn't really get 2 cans, but I am taking 1 big can of the Grand's Pillsbury, and then I have 2 cans, which is equal to the 1 can of just Kroger brand biscuits. And I'm going to open up this pop it. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm going to open it all the way up. And I washed my hands before this, by the way. And that's probably one of the most important things, is washing your hands. So it's going to come out like this in little rolls. And I have a cutting board here, and I'll show you in a second. But you're going to cut the biscuits into 4ths, and then I have learned that rolling them into little balls is the best way for this to cook, because if you don't, it won't cook all the way through, and so your bread might be doughy. And you don't want that because it won't taste very good. So I'm gonna roll it up into, here's what it looked like before, into the 4th. You roll it up. And if you want it smaller, you can, just more of like bite-sized pieces. And then you're gonna take your cinnamon and sugar, and you're just gonna roll the dough ball in the cinnamon and sugar. Okay, so once you finish putting all of your things into the bowl, it should look like this. So I had a lot of, you might have a little extra of the stuff. I would just take half of what you have left and do over the top, unless you only have a little bit, you can do the whole thing. Next, you're going to take your butter, your melted butter, and take your packed brown sugar. And be careful because it might splatter everywhere. Okay, on my way. So now you're going to take your 2 pan with all your things, and the brown sugar stuff, and you're going to pour it into the bowl. So now you're just going to take your coated things and you're going to put it in the oven, and it's going to bake for 30 minutes. And once you take that out, let it set for 10 minutes, and then you can serve it. Alright, so I just got my cake or the bread out of the oven. I let it set for about 15 minutes and I put it on my serving plate. And here it is. It smells really good. I had a bunch of pieces fall out, so a bunch of them I had to put back in there. But now it's going to be warm and I'm going to eat it when I'm done. But 4 years ago I got this recipe, and I make it better every time. The more you practice, the more it turns out better. But it's definitely one of my favorite recipes, and I really hope that you can make it too. To go over what we did, you're going to preheat your oven. You're going to grease your pan, mix the sugar and cinnamon together in a bowl, separate, cut, and roll your dough into balls, and then put in your pan. Put the butter, brown sugar, and chocolate, which I actually didn't do this time because we didn't have enough. But mix all that into a bowl, and then pour it over your bread, the little balls in the pan, yeah. And then put it in the oven for 30 minutes, and then when you get that out, you're going to let it cool for 10 minutes.